Okay. So when we have a linear equation written in slope-intercept form, let's just review a little bit. What do we call that number m? That is the slope. Let's label that. And this is the y-intercept. And they're useful for one other reason besides the ones we looked at yesterday, that it makes it really easy to graph. Okay? So let's practice that. So we have this equation, y equals 3x minus 1. It's a linear function in slope-intercept form. So let's identify the slope. What's our slope number for this particular equation? 3. For purposes of graphing, if it's a whole number or an integer, we're going to write it as a fraction. So as a fraction, how would we write the number 3? 3 ones or 3 over 1. Okay? What's our y-intercept number? Negative 1. So I also want us to practice writing the coordinates. The coordinates would be 0 for x and negative 1. Okay. So every time we see our slope number and it's an integer, positive or negative, give it a denominator of 1. Okay, here we go. Got my ruler here. So let's put our first point on the y-axis. Okay, let's go to 0, negative 1, or negative 1. That's why we have this number. And then we're going to find a few points that lie on this line using the slope. So from here on, we use the slope to find 2 or more points that are on the line. Okay, so here's our first one. How do I get another one? What would I do? How much would I rise? 3. So remember, the reason I want this is I want the rise and I want the run. Now I know I go up 3 to the right 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. I would put a point at 1, comma 2. Okay, let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Do you see how that third point is also in line? Now, besides having a positive divided by a positive, what's another way I could get a negative answer by dividing? Positive divided by positive is positive. Well, that would be negative though. If remember, if one of the two numbers, the divisor or the dividend, are negative, your answer is negative. How about negative divided by negative? Yeah. And the reason I'm bringing that up is go back to your original point. If I'm using a rise of negative 3 and a run of negative 1, that's telling me to go down 3 and to the left 1. Try that. Go back to your original point and go down 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. Now go to the left 1. Unfortunately, I think I didn't go down far enough. I only went down 2, didn't I? Oh no, I did. I did it correctly. Yeah. Yeah, down 3 over 1. Do you see you're at the same point again, or part of the same line? If I try that again, 1, 2, 3 over 1, I'm on the same line again. So every time you have a slope, you can do the same thing or do the opposite, and you're on the same line. So when it's positive, you can go up and to the right or down and to the left. So there's a bunch of points now. Line them all up and graph your line. Okay? Any questions? All right. Let's try another one. Let's try the next one. My slope number is negative 1 over 2. That's a negative number, right? What's another way of getting a negative number when you divide? I could do negative divided by positive or positive divided by negative. Either way, you get a negative. The reason I'm doing that is to show you something. Okay, what's my y-intercept number? Positive 4. I'll write the coordinates as well since this is our notes. We want to have all possible information in the notes. Okay, let's try this again. Let's start at our y-intercept number. Look for 4 on the y-axis or 0, 4. Okay, and now the slope is negative 1 over 2. So what does that tell me to do? Do I go up or do I go down? I go down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 2. You see all 4 of those points are in line? Let's try this slope though, 1 over negative 2. Go back to your original point at the y-intercept. Instead of going down and to the right, this is telling me to go up and to the left. Let's try that. Go up 1 and to the left 2. Up 1 and to the left 2. Am I still on the same line?
Yes.
Yeah. If I try that again, up 1 and to the left 2, I'm still on the same line. You see that? So the reason is I need a negative slope. Either one of these gives me a negative answer. So it still works either way. So mathematically, that makes sense, doesn't it? If we're just thinking of the numbers in math and what we know about integers. And so there's my line. Okay. Okay. Let's try a few more. You guys ready? Okay, let's move over. We got 3 more to do. I'd like you to try this one on your own. The slope is 3/4. Yeah, let's just write those down. -7. So I'll write that as 0, -7. Okay. So go ahead and graph that. Okay. So start at -7, up 3 to the right 4, up 3 to the right 4. I got those 3. Then I decided to do down 3 and to the left 4. Got another point that way. And so there's my line. Now, what I want you to understand is these aren't the only points on the line. There's an infinite number of points. But these are the easiest to graph and find. Then you got all these in-between points that also are part of the points on the line. Okay, let's try the next one. What's the slope for this particular?
1 over 1.
Yeah, it's 1 or 1 over 1. Remember, that's 1. So we would say 1 or 1 over 1, which is how we want to think about it. Our y-intercept number is -2. So let's graph that. 0, -2. And what does the slope tell me to do?
Go up 1 over 1.
Yeah, up 1 over 1. They're going to be really close. So we'll just do a few. Up 1 to the right 1. Or I could, instead of up 1 and to the right 1, I could also do down 1 into the left 1. You don't even need to write it. You should just be able to understand. And you'll see that sometimes if you have to graph these by hand and the slope is maybe it's +5 over 6, and you don't have enough room to do that, well, just do the opposite. Down 5 into the left 6, and you should be able to graph that. Okay, let's plot these points. Got a lot of them here. Oh, last one. So what's my slope? Or negative 5 over 1. What's my y-intercept? 0. Yeah, we don't have any number after the x, so it goes through the origin. First point is here at the origin, and then I go down 5 into the right one. Down 5 into the right one, down 5 to the right one. What if I wanted one more point and I can't go down 5 to the right one? What else could I do? Can I go up? Up 5 into the up 5 into the left, yeah. See how I got another point that way? Up 5 into the left. Basically what I did there is 5 over negative 1. Okay. Well, now I got 4 points. All I need for the graph. Make my line.
So we need 4 points.
No, I just wanted us to practice graphing. Usually 2 is enough, but we needed the practice. So, in fact, the assignment is on IXL, and we're looking for 90%.